anyway, so it'll be all right.
I've been on 5 times. I guess you didn't watch the show.
I guess I didn't. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Around 15 Minutes, because we are doing a little show before we record Shattercast. And I wanted to get Robert on a little bit, and talk to him about some stuff. But he has life things and everything. He's a famous lawyer out of Brooklyn. Everybody knows that.
Matt wanted legal advice. So he asked what my hourly rate was. When I told him, he was like, "All right, let's just do 15 minutes."
He goes, can I put 5 on it? Can I just put 5 down on it and everything?
He's like, "Can I get the fan bro retainer?"
That's all I can get is 15 minutes. That's all I can afford for and everything. So we got a lot of people in. Well, I got some people in the chat and everything. But I want to ask you. I thought of a question today. So me and you've been on Sharecast for a bit. About 5 years and everything. So what got you to like? I mean, what was it that you liked about Sharecast and you wanted to be on the show and everything?
I didn't want to be on the show. I thought I was raffling for a toy.
Was it a toy? No, you were raffling for you raffled for a guest spot, dude.
I didn't know what that was. I thought it was a dog. I thought I was getting a puppy.
So why did you start listening to Sharecast? And how did you find Sharecast? I don't think I've ever asked you this before.
Well, I listen to podcasts. I used to listen to GMC. And then when the whole Good Evening Cybertron thing happened, it was hilarious. And then when you guys, branched off and started doing Shadowcast, I was a listener. And then you had your first, what was that? It wasn't a GoFundMe. What was it? Was it a GoFundMe?
It was what was it, a GoFundMe? Yeah, it was a GoFundMe.
It was a GoFundMe. And the first prize was guest host. And I was like, I'm getting on the show. And then, we all hit it off.
Dude, I remember we we didn't think anybody was gonna do that. Someone bought the dinner. I think Ben
Dover.
No, I forgot his name. He's on Twitter. He does our Twitter a lot. I forgot his name. God dang it, man. Anyways, he bought the dinner and everything, and then we didn't think, and we put up the a guest spot on the show. And we don't have any guests on our show, so you got very lucky.
It was exclusive.
It was exclusive, but then we had Snowflake on a couple times.
Yeah, so Tyler L.
It wasn't really that exclusive anymore. So
Tyler L. did the next year's. It was awesome. It was great. He's an honorary member of SCU.
Yeah, I guess it could be. He's been on more than he's been doing his own show. So he's on ETR now, so he's too big for us now.
Anyway, but yeah, I used to listen a lot, and I remember the first few shows, I was riding my bike around the park, working out, and I'd always listen to Shadowcast and ride my bike. And that's why when I got on, it was really awesome. It was a lot of fun. I messed around with a lot of the guys. Everybody's afraid that I was going to be a weirdo. And so I obliged. And ever since then, I've been a weirdo.
Well, yeah, you're a weirdo. But, dude, I think when we got done filming with you, I think we all got together, whatever, all of us, and Oscar and Antoine was on it. I think, was Antoine on at that time? I don't know.
Yeah.
So we all got together and we automatically, voted you on. I mean, we got to get this guy on. He's hilarious and everything. I remember the first time you said you wanted to sound weird or something. You're like, "Hey, everybody," or something like that, or I don't know. You did something weird and everything.
It was episode 32, I think.
Yep, exactly.
They can listen if they want to check it out. It was fun.
Good. Well, that's awesome, man. It's been a while since we talked about that and everything. So let me ask you this also. So I know a lot of people are tired of doing the Unicron thing and everything with Zeta. Do you think Zeta is gone? Or do you think, I'm not gone, do you think that they're going to put that Unicron out later? Which they should have. I think they should have done that.
I don't think they should. They made a big mistake doing what they did. I think all that they had to do was they could have just released an image with their logo on the top or whatever, Zeta, and just a silhouette, and that's it. That would have, and it could have just had a price. Silhouette, their name, price. Everyone would have been like, all right, well, we want to see it. It's, if you want to think about it, you can kind of blame the freaking the self-entitled nerds, because they must have caved to the pressure and the complaints, right? Because initially they just showed
the head,
render of a head and then an arm, And then they showed the big reveal, and it was after the big reveal. People were complaining that they wanted to see the whole thing, and I can imagine they came to the pressure. They didn't realize, they got swept up in their own hype. They drank their own Kool-Aid, and they revealed it. I can only assume that they were looking at people's comments, so they were referring to it as Unicron. If all they showed was a silhouette, people would just have to have faith in Zeta. That's where you rely on your good name.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have had any kind of hammer brought down on them, but clearly they were referring to it as Unicron too. It was all over. They brought the hammer down on them. I don't understand why they couldn't. Like, let's just say for argument's sake that they're persona non grata, whatever. Like, all of a sudden, Zeta can't produce this Unicron. Well, this wouldn't be the first time a third-party company popped up out of the blue. They could have Beta or Omega or anything. They could just start a new company with in 6 months, in a year, and release a Bitey Planet. They can call it Bitey Planet.
I think they should have waited.
No, Hasbro wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. They would fly under the radar.
To be honest, I think that the reason why that Hasbro went down is because, they're trying to get that HasLab one to get funded and everything. And I think they should have waited. They should have waited. They already had it, because I think that we saw the render of the head like a long time ago. So they already had this already up going and everything. So I think they should have waited until it got funded. Hasbro did their thing and got their money for it, and then put theirs out. I think they got a little, I think they thought that maybe they were messing around with like Toy World again, because they go back and forth with Toy World. They're not messing with Toy World. You're messing with the big dog.
They got sloppy, right? They flew a little too close to the sun. And the wax on their wings melted, and they fell to the earth.
So, do you think they're going to release it later on down the line? Like you just said, they might go under a new name or something like that. They're all changing names.
They were smart. I think they have a red flag right now, and I think they'll always have that red flag at this point. I think they should rebrand and re-release it just under a different name. What the hell's stopping them? And just a new name. Just release it. People know it exists.
Yeah.
So as long as they fly under the radar, they should be okay. But who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So we got people in the chat. I want to say thank you to everybody coming in. Josh Fisher's in here. Mr.
Get a life.
Get a life. Got T-Man. We got Tyler. We got Tyler.
Get a life.
Tyler's in here, man.
Which Tyler?
Tyler. F.
Peanut?
Tyler F.
Peanut.
Yeah, TF1, whatever, everything. He's in here, everything. Larkins Larry. Everybody, thank y'all so much for coming in. Eric, he bought one of my shirts. He was the one and only that bought my shirt. I bought a shirt, and he has one now, too, and that's awesome. I think he got the Crapagonix one. So
you'd be shirt buddies?
Yeah. No, I have mine coming in Saturday, I think. I got the one with the phrases I say on the stuff and everything's on the back. So he got the Crapagonix one, which I really like too. It looks really nice.
You should be making tube tops for men.
Why should I make tube tops for men?
Because
nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see anybody in a tube top. Come on now. Nobody wants to see anybody in a tube top. So what do you I don't have anything else I meant to ask. I was just going to ask you about, what you thought of SCU. What do you think about SCU anyways right now? What do you think about the state of SCU?
The state of it? I mean, it's fun. Yeah. It's a fun time. I think it's just like there's no pressure. I feel like it's easy to fall into this mindset where it has to grow and go somewhere and we have to do something, and like with any endeavor. And I just feel like we're in a place where it's like, hey, let's just get together and chat. Period.
Have a good time.
It doesn't have to freaking go anywhere. A lot of our friends do stuff that goes places, and they have a big role in the community and everything. God bless them, but we don't have to all do that stuff. Like, we could just get together and have a good time, chat, have a chat.
We do. Crimson Raptors. I said, man, he gave you. He really appreciates your explanation of copyright and trademark and all that stuff. And
I feel like nobody ever listens. Thank you.
Yeah, they do. Everybody listens too. I think a lot of people really do. I mean, they pay attention to that part because a lot of people don't know. There's a lot of stuff that different stuff about everything. So, I don't know everything about it. So when you start talking about it, I'll listen to it.
What's really funny, and I'm not an expert, but I enjoyed it in school and I practiced it for several years. But law's always changing. But
Oh, that's
I
true.
mean, when just like Legends, right? I wouldn't consider myself an expert on Legends anymore because I don't collect New Age anymore. I don't collect McFans toys anymore. I don't collect Hot Soldiers anymore. So how could I render an opinion on that stuff, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
judgment.
true.
Now it's judgment, not valid
Yeah, you're
opinion.
just looking at a picture instead of having it in hand
No,
and everything.
they're
Or
the company's a piece of garbage. That's
oh,
why. That's judgment.
yeah.
That's not a valid opinion. It's not
Oh,
based on any information, right? And if you think about it, you know, all wealthy individuals, if you trace their ancestry back, you'll find a thief. Everyone,
oh, yeah,
right? So
definitely.
any third
Yeah,
party company, if you trace them back at some point, you'll find a thief.
you'll find a
So
lot of stuff.
who am
Yeah.
I to judge, really? But I came into it when I did, and I witnessed what I witnessed, and I don't like them. So, but my point is, like with the law, I haven't been just like with Legends. I haven't been, my arms deep in it, elbows deep in it, but
Hmm.
um, it's always changing. But there were people with the Unicron stuff and with the Unicron stuff. Oh my God! Like it seemed like when they got shut down. Like okay, first of all, you had HasLab, Unicron, drama, price chug,
Hmm.
chug a lug. Then you had MP44, and oh my God, price MP. I'm not gonna get suckered by Takara. People fighting. Everybody is like going at each other's throats, and then Zeta releases their Unicron, and it like took the pressure off, and then
Oh, that's
HasLab
true.
came in and brought the hammer down, boom,
That's true. That
and
is
then
true.
it was like a shock, went through the community, like, oh, Dad's home. It was like that. It's like you're all misbehaving.
Like they didn't see this was coming. Like this, they didn't see us coming. I was like, come on now. I mean, if Hasbro wanted to do something, he could do something.
This is exactly what it was like. It was like the kids are fighting and screaming and tearing each other's eyes out, and then the door slams.
Daddy's home. You're like,
Oh,
okay,
shit. Right?
something's gonna
Zeta
happen.
shut down. And then all the nerds, all of a sudden, everybody starts debating the KO debate again. Oh, it got to another level. Like they're now at the same old nonsense and ignorant stuff flying around. You got plumbers giving legal advice. There's one dude that looked him up. He's a plumber. He was like talking about rights, IP rights, and when you lose your rights, and this, that, the other. And I was like, actually, you just touched on something, but I'd like to hear why you said that, because if he reasoned, his opinion or his statement was his authoritative statement with his plumbing degree was, and I'm not knocking plumbers.
Plumbers can make good money, man. Plumbers.
All I'm saying is, I know I'm not a plumber, so don't act, Mr. Plumber, don't act like a lawyer, right?
That's true.
I don't
That's
pretend
true.
to be a doctor, and I hope a doctor doesn't pretend to be a lawyer or a plumber. Stay in your lane, man.
Yeah.
But what he said, he was, if they don't act on it within a certain amount of time, they lose their IP rights. And then I was like, what? And I was like, actually, you just hit on something, but I think you blundered into it. Tell me what you mean. And he meant, well, if they lose their rights to the IP, it's like, like some people refer to IP, it's like the new QC. People be like, how's the QC? This one's got QC. My figure's got QC. It's like, dude, QC is just an abbreviation for quality control. IP is just an abbreviation for intellectual property.
Now, how do they lose the names? Like, Transformers, they call them like Autobot Jazz, and everything. No, how do they just, like, they don't use it, they lose it? Is that what he's trying to say?
I don't know, and I have to look it up, but I assume it's with trademarks. They can't trademark the name because they didn't use the mark, and perhaps other competitors had started using it, so then they can't claim sole trademark to it. That's probably what I'm thinking. Another toy or something was, they abandoned the mark and and the name associated with their trademark, so then they can't trademark the name anymore because they abandoned it and other people were using it, so now they can't say, well, that name is exclusively associated with our trademark. So that's what I'm thinking, but I have to look into it. But what the truth is, Hasbro would have to take action, or they are precluded. Like, you have basically a 6-month window, unless it's changed in a few years. The law used to be you have a 6-month window to commence an action, or you can only sue for licensing fees. Otherwise, you have a lot more damages available to you, like triple damages, all these other damages where you can really kick someone in the gut financially. Yeah. You have a 6-month window from when you did or should have discovered an infringement of your copyright. You get this a lot with music. You
I
know,
think movies too. Also, like Sony had to make the Spider-Man movies. The two that with Garfield. I think the only reason why they made those ones because they were going to lose weren't they going to lose Spider-Man at a certain point or something? I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
for sure. I don't quote me on that, but I remember that they made the first Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield one, is because they were fixing to lose Spider-Man, to something or I
No,
don't
that might
know.
have just been based on some contract. Like, you have the rights
You
to
have a
make X
certain.
amount of movies in
Okay.
this much of time, or you lose the rights. So they
Okay.
paid
Gotcha.
for it, so they might as well use it. That's
Yeah.
contract, not IP law.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
But,
Okay. Cool.
all right, so that's it in a nutshell. I will send you a PayPal invoice.
Yes, we are done, folks. I am sorry.
My doorbell's ringing.
We're fixing to go to do SEU and everything. So thank y'all very much for coming in. Yeah, Stasis Lock is on right now. Definitely go watch that, man. If you love Beast Wars, go over to Primal Sabbath, man. He's a good dude. Dakota is a really good dude. And I want to thank y'all for coming in. Got a little something, and from Robert. Hopefully, I can get him back on. He's always a lovely guest and everything. So go hit that like button, all that wonderful stuff. And I guess I'll see you on the next round 30. And as always, be good to yourself. Hail Hasbro, and good night, folks.
My pizza's here.
Yeah, and his pizza's here because he's Italian. I'm surprised it's not spaghetti pizza, to be honest. But all right, y'all. Thank you very much. I will talk to y'all later. And listen to Shattercast tomorrow. It should be up in Thursday morning. I'm sorry, Friday morning. It'll be tomorrow, later, not or anything like that. Instant dislike. I know that dust mites. I understand that. I know that you're the one. I know you're the one, but it's okay. I still love you. And I think Josh Fisher asked if Robert was going to go to TFCon. Yes, he is going to TFCon. He's bringing the family, and I think everybody will be me, Justin, Bobby, and Robert will be there. Greg will not be there at TFCon. So 4 out of 5 of Shattercast will be there. We'll be hanging out with ETR, Dust and Pinkerton, all those lovely fellas that we're going to have fun with. I'm excited. We got about a month away. Yeah, it's about a month away from TFCon. So can't wait to see everybody out there. And as always, like I said, thank y'all very much. And y'all have a wonderful rest of the night. I will see y'all later. That's kind of